Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. What is Nolan's Cross? The Curse of Oak Island expert calls Fred Nolan's discovery key to finding wealth of Knights Templar. The Curse of Oak Island returns this week with a fascinating hypothesis, claiming that Nolan's Cross was built using holy geometric figures that point to Knights Templar and the Money Pit. During the February 20 episode, an Oak Island expert claims he has discovered new evidence that Nolan's Cross is a signpost for treasure hidden in the Money Pit. In the swamp, geoscientist Nolan Spooner has returned to examine a big boulder discovered in the marsh by Billy Gerhardt the previous week. In the Tuesday episode, Dr. Spooner stated, in a particularly dramatic tone, that the boulder is part of a larger human structure. Fred Nolan, a searcher, surveyor, and Oak Island proprietor, discovered 6 enormous boulders on the inland and fashioned the massive cross shape known as Nolan's Cross. The cross measures 360 broad by 867 tall. Much has been theorized about their purpose, ranging from basic boundary delineation lines to more intricate geometry and Baconian/Templar linkages. Rick Lagina and other team members meet with Christopher Morford, an author and 32nd degree Freemason, in the War Room. Chris and his research partner, Corjan Mole, have recently helped the team investigate the incredible theory that the medieval order of the Knights Templar and their believed descendants, the Freemasons, made repeated visits to Oak Island between the 12th and 18th centuries to hide items of great historic and monetary value. In light of the team's continuous attempts to find the source of precious metals discovered in the Money Pit area, Chris has done fresh research that he feels will aid in pinpointing it using the megalithic stones of Nolan's Cross. During the Holy War, known as the Crusades, the military order of the Knights Templar fought valiantly for Christian interests in the Middle East and Europe from the 12th to 14th centuries. After creating the world's first banking system on the site of King Solomon's first temple in Jerusalem, they amassed immense wealth. Some claim that their huge wealth also contained rare items uncovered during excavations beneath the temple ruins, such as King Solomon's golden menorah and the Holy Grail. The order was abolished and punished by the Pope and the King of France in 1307 on the basis of dubious heresy allegations. Many people were imprisoned and eventually executed. However, the precious jewels they think exist have never been discovered. The crew behind the Curse of Oak Island believes that some of these antiques may be hidden on Oak Island, as Chris believes. Furthermore, they believe Nolan's Cross holds the key to determining where they are buried. Fred was a Canadian surveyor and treasure hunter who worked in Nova Scotia in the latter part of the 20th and early 21st century. Fred was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia, on July 5, 1927. In Nova Scotia, he ran Nola Brothers surveys with his brother and was certified as a provincial land surveyor. In the 1960s, Fred got intrigued by the mystery of Oak Island, which is said to be the location of a large buried treasure that is unreachable owing to a complicated network of booby traps that continually flood the treasure pit, known as the Money Pit. While previous treasure seekers examined the island thoroughly, Fred believed he had an edge because of his surveying experience. Unfortunately, he died on June 4, 2016, without discovering any lost valuables, as do most treasure seekers. Although Nolan's Cross is Fred's most significant finding on Oak Island, the headstone within it is possibly the most interesting aspect of the find. The headstone is a landmark at the junction of Nolan's Cross that appears to be carved in the shape of a human face. The stone looks to have been carved to represent a forehead, an eye, a nose, and a mouth. However, these details are difficult to discern at first glance. On an episode of The Curse of Oak Island, drilling down, Fred accompanied series lead Rick Legina down to see the fabled headstone, and Fred conceded that the stone did really resemble a face, to the point where it was undoubtedly an intriguing, if not revolutionary, discovery. Although it is still possible that this particular rock is only carved in the shape of a face, the stone's unusual appearance, combined with its prominent position within Nolan's cross, make it a discovery worth noting, especially if the cross itself has any significance to the treasure's final resting place. There are numerous sacred numbers, but last year, scholar Brian Farrow stated that 6 specific numerals appear on Nolan's cross. These include 144, 288, 360, 432, 740, and 864. Brian asserted that these figures were utilized in the building measures of famous Christian monuments, such as Chartres Cathedral in France, Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, and even the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. The Nolan's Cross specialist then showed the guys a series of graphs depicting how these numbers appeared repeatedly in the cross's proportions. Brian measured both the horizontal and vertical sections of the cross, as well as the head. He also drew a circle around the cross points, measuring their length, breadth, and radius. And the numbers continued to show up in the measures. If a number didn't appear right, Brian would convert it from feet to inches, resulting in a sacrosanct number. Brian revealed even more alarming facts to the gang. Using a circle, he drew straight lines from the center to each point of the cross, discovering that they met at a place just a few feet west of the garden shaft.